And then now you're the spokesperson.
So let's start at the beginning with NACA. So I had first been introduced to NACA when my sister was actually going through the program with her late husband at the time, and there was like a seminar that they had to go through, and I was learning. I had never heard about the program before that. They didn't actually go all the way through with the program, which I find a lot of people don't. The retention is so. A lot of people have criticized NACA because they're like, it's a lot that you got to go through. It's very strenuous. Da, da, da. So, what's the first step in the NACA process?
Like you said, going to that meeting, it's about 3 or 4 hours.
And that's all over the country, right?
Yeah. They pretty much break down everything, all of the benefits of the program, the things that you have to do, the rules for the program, things you can't do to the program. And yeah, from there, you sign up and let them know what date you want to meet with a mortgage counselor. It could be up to 2 years out. It could be up to 2 weeks out, but you put whatever date when you're comfortable. I tell people all the time, don't go until you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Don't go until you're like all the way ready. Don't go just trying to see what they gonna say and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to go test the program. Like, no, go when you're ready. When you know you have your documentation in order, you got your 2 years work history in order, you got your 2 years tax history in order, your bank statements order. Like, these are things that all lenders require, not just NACA. So it's like you shouldn't be going to a lender unless you have this stuff in order anyway. But NACA is just extra strict about their documentation because essentially you're going to these people asking them for hundreds of thousands of dollars for absolutely nothing. Your credit ain't shit. You ain't really shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the time,
Check.
like for real,
Check.
whole time. Like, but these people are still willing to give you a chance. Most lenders, when you go to them in that situation, what they doing? They're closing the door in your face and giving you a decline letter. NACA, they're going to give you a checklist of things to do and tell you to come back when you have those things done. Your ID with them is still going to be intact. Your file with them still going to be intact. You still going to be able to update documents and send stuff in, but they're just not going to qualify you for a loan until you get things marked off that checklist.
So it's a pretty strenuous checklist. So
it's not. It's standard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like most people with the common misconception is like, yo, I've seen people say, yo, I tried twice and I just can't get through it. What is it? Is it the fact that they don't have that profile that you just spoke about intact, or like what is the thing that is blocking people from continuing?
With me, a lot of times it was my own fault. I was getting in my own way. Like, so just my mentality, you know what I mean? So I'm, pointing the finger at them. Like a lot of times they'll be like, man, send us this document, or can you resend this? And I would get mad and frustrated and want to go back and forth instead of just sending the document. Like, you know what I mean? So what if you got to send it twice? Like, it just, stuff get lost, stuff get caught up in, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And then too, a lot of times people get really frustrated because what they don't understand is NACA is extremely understaffed. They're a non-for-profit. They're understaffed and they're overworked. And then you got a person like me out here screaming from the mountaintops on EYL, where there's millions of people following. Hey, y'all can go get y'all a multi-unit with the NACA program. So now there's this rush of people going to the NACA program, and now they're even more overworked and more overwhelmed. So it's like there has to be a level of patience and understanding when you're taking advantage of a program like this, and just really getting like, all right, cool. I know if I exercise patience at the end of all of this, there won't be anything better out there for me. So I made a reel the other day that said, I compare NACA to Tom Brady and Jordan. They're not the biggest, they're not the strongest, they're not the fastest, but they the best. In the clutch, when it comes to the closing table, when you look at those numbers, they're going to deliver every single time in the championship. Like, you won't find anybody better. You won't find better numbers ever. And it's the same thing, like I say, with Brady and Jordan. No, they're not the most anything, but they just the best, and they deliver in the clutch when it's time to.
So the steps is, all right, so you got to go to the seminar.
Yep.
That's like an all-day thing.
3-4 hours, yeah.
And what do they teach you in the seminar?
They don't teach you anything. They just tell you about the program, you know, like the benefits of the program, like I say, the rules and different things like that. NACA doesn't teach you real estate. So like if you don't know real estate, you probably need to go learn real estate and then go through the program, because I tell people this all the time. No matter what program you're going through, if you're going to buy property, have some knowledge, because if you don't, you're at that point leaving your agent, your attorney, whoever, to kind of like hijack your deal and lead you wherever it is you want to go, as opposed to you quarterbacking your own deal. So have some knowledge and some information on this stuff. So when you go in, you can kind of tell your agent, hey, look, I'm looking for a multi-unit property, undervalued, that has people living in it already, cash flowing. You can tell the lender, hey, look, I'm qualifying. I'm going to apply for a multi-unit property. So don't just qualify me based on my income. I'll let you know how much the income the building is generating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work with these people and tell them what it is that you're looking for, so they can put the play together for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know anything and you're just depending on these people to do the work for you, you're not going to get anything done, because that's not their job.
So that's one of the things, right? So you have to do your due diligence before you go in,
anything.
and you have to have your profile ready before you go.
Well, I want to just ask what the profile. So all right. So you go through the seminar 2 hours, then you meet with a counselor, and that's like an hour.
And the counselor meeting depends on, you know, how much of your stuff you got together or not. So when you meet with your counselor, that's on the thorough, you know what I mean, due diligence. Start with them. Background check, you know, bank statement check, man. Give us your 2 years tax history. Give us your 2 years, you know what I mean, work history. Right. You know, just like give us your like history of like, you know, where you've lived for the past 10 years, like things like that they ask you. And some people can get frustrated with it, because a lot of times we tend to have the mindset of, man, I don't want nobody in my business. But it's like, bro, like I said, you're going to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars from these people. Like, it's the bank. You need to have a relationship with the bank. NACA is funded by Bank of America. So it's no different than going to Bank of America, Citibank, whoever, to go and get a loan. There are going to be certain things that are required, and if you doing anything fraud or scammy or anything like that, of course you don't want nobody in your business. But if you legit, man, get these people what they asking for, because they're essentially about to change your life.
Now, that person that you meet, let's say you've done those first 2 steps, and now you sit with that person. Does that person stay with you through the process, or you pass on to another person?
Your mortgage counselor is with you throughout the whole process. That's who you work with. And if there's a time where, you know, you and your mortgage counselor not getting along, they may not be responsive enough, you can request to change your mortgage counselor. Like, you have all of those different options to pretty much, like I say, quarterback your own deal, which is what I did. And like I told y'all, it's not the easiest process, because there are going to be times where they may not get back to you. They may not call back. Like, bro, I was pulling up to the office, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Like, I sent y'all my documents. I did everything that I'm supposed to do. Like, now what's the next steps? And, you know, they would go review the file, like, you know what, Mr. Haynes, you're right. I'm sorry. Let me go in and, you know what I mean, push you through, or whatever the case may be. But if you're not proactive in your own situation, nobody's going to do it for you. And I think most times people are used to, or I don't know what they're used to, because you can't be used to anything if you've never bought a property. So you don't even know the mortgage process. So for you to complain about somebody not reaching out to you or following up with you, that's not necessarily your job. It's your job to follow up. It's your job to send in documentation. It's your job to go to the office. Like, with anything, that's what I learned. Like, man, I have to be the person that's kind of like, you know, controlling the quarterback of my own situation. Otherwise, people, it's not important to other people.
And also, it's like you said, you don't even know if you haven't been through the process. And even on a higher level, so we're building the homes, and, you know, these are $1 million houses, and we had to go through a bunch of red tape and send stuff, and then the stuff they asked for, the stuff that we just sent, and it's like, it's a headache and it's a hassle, and it's like, you know, it's not the most efficient. Buying a home is not the most efficient process, period.
I love that you just said that, because people think it's just NACA.
Oh, no,
no. Everybody gonna ask you to double send documents, and it's not. This is the mortgage process. This is the home buying process, and y'all ain't never bought shit, so you don't know. So you just complaining about what you think you should be getting. Just entitlement be beating y'all ass whole time. Let's just call it what it is. Entitlement be beating the shit out of you.
What you saying, like, is 1,000, right? That's the first part of even getting the home. But now like you said, we building, so now we dealing with permits.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother process.
And now you got to go through inspections, and inspector might not approve certain stuff. It's like, man, all this is a time and a patience thing. And again, no, even in sports, when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, these things take time. These things take time. And most times when you hear, like I say, about somebody getting offered like a big contract, you hear about them turning the contract down, or just not working out, or the deal going bad. Like, this is business. This is just how business works. Like I said, there are times when you can do everything right and stuff just still won't go your way. Like, and then what do? Like, you have to get back on the grind. You got to get back to it. You can't let it discourage you. And a lot of times people get emotional about these things. That's why you hear so much slander, because like, now you mad. Oh, NACA did this to you. NACA did that. No, you just quit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You quit the process essentially, because if you would have stayed down, you would have came up. Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what my ex did. And that's what my, you know what I mean, friends did. Like, that's what, like, I've helped so many people through this program who listen, but it's a mindset thing. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't have a mindset in order. Like I say, it's entitlement. You feel like you owed something. It's like, nah, man, you got to go earn everything that you need, that you got out here.
Yeah.
From property to business, to customers. Like, you have to go and earn these things. You have to go and show and prove. You have to, like, do what you need to do in order to make things happen. And most people operate in a space of instant gratification. And I think the internet has a lot to do with that, because you see people doing so well and you see people accomplishing things, and you see more of the celebratory moments online. You don't see the hard behind the scenes grind that it took. You don't see the offers that I put in and, you know what I mean, got turned down or got beat out by cash offers. You didn't see the time where I almost lost $10,000 in earnest money because, you know what I mean, the contractors didn't do what they were supposed to do and give me the proper estimates. Just like, it's a lot of things behind the scenes that people just don't know. And practicing patience and understanding how this process goes will make your life and just your process way easier when it comes to stuff, and like just a lot less stressful. Because it's like, it's not easy. It's a super stressful process, regardless of whether it's NACA, FHA, conventional. It's a process, man, and I don't think people understand.
They gotta be ready for the long run.